This is day 289 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you would like to sponsor upcoming share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. They are doing Simon Reish Bay still. Chav test to Lamed Vav. Chav test. If you name Gamba Marik, Mosasi Vizel Lashona. Odas Halim Shvashim Osam. Grapes that you cook, actually Asu Avrim until the point they become thick. Recurring Osan Konfat. I didn't know that kompot was a term still in vogue at the time of Marik, but I guess it comes from French. You make a shako eitz on cooked fruit, which are kompot. You make a shako. I like kompot, but a kompot which has no countenance of grapes, the low time nor even taste of grapes, a goose that's gotten worse, Kasav, although I'm not sure then what the difference is, since we're going to make a shot on that too. Before we wrote that kompot is not the intent when you plant fruit. The Trima didn't bring down the words of the Rambam nor the concept of Trima. By the Mari Achina said of Mashkava, Matzi became like a thick beverage. Since it changed for the negative, cloud doesn't have taste of grapes at all. Now planted for that purpose. But our type of jams, they are food like previously. They'll show you some of these babel, but they got mixed up in how they look. They're confections. They even taste better. You even taste the fruit in it. Ain't just like you make a bari pre-8s on it. So on jams and jellies, if they have still look like fruit, just mixed fruit, and they have a good taste, make it very great. The Chaznish is well known to have held an orange juice. You make it by prates. And he said otherwise we'd have a problem making orange juice during Shemitah because you're not allowed to downgrade Shemitah fruit. So he said to make by prates. My personal position was all the years, at least with Grove Stand, Tropicana, or there's some similar orange juices has significant flecks of orange in them. You certainly should make a butter prates because you can even see the pre. So I cannot say the Shulchan with the same authority, but I believe about the orange juice with significant pulp. Back in the brackets, he says, Morin he distinguished between totally dissolved or they bishu when they're cooked, and when they're not totally dissolved, but he speaks in tersely, which is derech mogen avram. Is not distinguishing between cooked or not cooked. Distinguishes in different types of chopping up. For Siegel love, they already disagree with the Levush. The rabbi tries to reconcile him. But according to what we wrote, you don't need that viduk. We hold that where the mamashus is there, and the bracha does not change. Only a patvila, which loses all of its form. Now it's a jelly as opposed to a jam. And it's not nikar. Oh, what it was they make of shako. Because this is the reality on anything but the Evid. In terms of bracha achroina, so if it's something which is shiva saminim, the bracha brain fashos rabbis is not exempt shiva saminim, nor does bracha saminim shosh exempt brain fashos. You have to eat something afterwards, something which is from the shiva saminim, and also something which is brain fashos, in order to exempt this like grape jam, or date jam, no matter what. If you don't have, so it says you can make a main sholosh. And that seems to be the case according to the Ramah. It says make by prates, but again, in order to say he has to have some mamoshes, I think, in order to if it doesn't have any mamoshes at all, it's just a grape jelly like we get grape jellies today without any grape in it, any significant grape, or when you get date butter with the same thing. I think the bracha sha'ako and the bracha akron is by pray as by the fashos. The time here where at least there's some hecker of the original fruit. Lamed b'klipem ramransin orange peels nechlu kol paiskim is a bracha. What bracha make on them? Yes, we might. Some people make some orange peels. They came to the gabi orla kaimelon takli bagarni kaimelon. Since in terms of orla, both the shell and the kernel are chayv in orla. the seed. Can't commercial beside the garim bark by parades. So just like we paskin at least by certain pits, they make it by parades. Cleveland, so too on the peels. Yeshmin the bark adama. Somebody say break adama. The time on there, that is the Taz. His reason is not forgot the chavis bar leaving those libel and orla. Same there shomela peri because it is a shomer for the pre. Marbin Espirio, and we learn out from Espirio, Esatofel Period, which is subordinate to the fruit. Below in bracha that has to do with orla, but not with bracha. Though not they adite the kalklipin. People don't plant things on with the intent of having the peels. It's like the subordinate parts of the caper. The Asian of our shackles, some people say to make a shackle on the orange peels. Though it's Tom and Elia Rabba. I'm not here to make a determination. Ella Shishamati, I'll be by her for clearly. Shube Maranzin Shalom, most of our oranges are both made by Italia, which come from Italy. Ain't clipos shell lemons, a bletzin, Kamoshagin Lamar, that these peels are not the peels actually of lemons or epletzin, maybe, or oranges. I thought Maratzin was oranges, but I guess oranges, the Maratzin means citrus fruits in general. But Elishemi Koranitios, they come from the roots of the trees. Veinkaperos Atzmon. And they're like themselves, that's how they grow. Klipos, like they grow as shells, as peels. The Toshin Aperos, Chachim Mosan Lama Ransin, and they pluck the fruit and they cut it up for these marantzin, for these peels. Not sure that Matthias is. It came by if that is a primary growth of the tree, certainly make a bari prates. Yom Shamati Azef, and there I heard this, and he to make a prates, and then and again I don't know this Matthias what it is. If Rashi they were showing us the bears came, showing Klipo Shapan, especially according to Bina holds that according to even on the peel itself, you make a bari prates. So the bracket's going to put in here, so you must find we're going to have wrong, much because of Beretiv, Gimel. Ulai Mitam Shukosavnu, perhaps because the reason I wrote about the way they grow, and beyond the Sifra Iron Bow, he doesn't have plenty of mirrors too. Look at it. And but the Chayadim Cloud Nun Gimel, Labarach Haitz, to make a braids on the Klipe Marantzin. The sure writes in terms of Klipas Pomerantzin, which are those are for sure oranges. They make a Shahakov, they made braids and braids. So the Klipe Marantzin, I'm assuming it's a generic term for citrus peels, and somehow the Arukh HaShulchan had some mitzias in which these citrus peels considered ikar peri, but for us, the normal halacha, the widespread halacha is on orange peels and such like, even they're candied, in which case, obviously, or chocolate coated, we still make a chocolate on them. Lamrav, Krakosam, the Mashkin Yotzim Peros, the Ray wrote that beverages come out of the fruit side, they skita by being squeezed and bar shaka, make a shaka, they know say bam. So perspiration. But they still nothing except for olives and grapes. Because of shaka, that's what honey, which comes from the dates, the bracha is shackle. That's Bag Brates. The Bag says make bar prates on that date, honey, which time is even chafov. Light time, or perhaps the reason is Mignesha, but Torah Ksiv, the Torah says, Zavas Cholavuz Vash. It calls the dates honey. Trying to that ikar peri, so it seems to be the primary part of the fruit. Abakopas can chokolov, all the parts can argue the Dvasha, the Torah, the honey in the Torah. He Timbarim refers to the dates themselves. In Kochol Pears, it's like all fruit, and therefore the honey which comes out of them, the bracha is shahako. So to the ends of grapes, which never get ripe. Yain Klai can't make them wine, but Simon Chutz making them vinegar. Chain and Bichlal and Novin, therefore they're including grapes. The Bark love shakal, make a shakal them. Low down to the bosa, it's not like unripe fruit. Shem Varkin Adama, you make Adama. The bosa are made these gadel, because boser is a fruit which is unripe, but was supposed to get ripe. V'gam yain, and therefore, and boser also the unripe fruit of that sort, which can be made into wine, just not a grape wine. It goes down one notch from Eitz Adama. But these these are like the vinegar which comes out of them. I mean, tomorrow you call him Noivlos, also on a superior grade of dates called Noivlos. And she's Bashlu, which were ripened, but then got burnt by the heat. The Yisavshin got dried Yusha can't make any honey out of them, but any Bechlat Morim, not considered to be true dates, and Bechlim Shako and make a Shako, the Ishtanu Harbe Lagusa, they are much worse than regular dates are. The Sharatzion says those fruits that you eat them normally by squeezing them, the Rashba holds that you make a bracha on that we squeeze out of them like them, which would be cover our orange juice. But the Rosh shows no matter what, you should make a shako. And that is the stimas hamachaber and simon reishay. And perhaps he said this only because of a suffix, and therefore in terms of the yevet there would be an afkamina, but the yevet ate him leaves the tzarek in. Mishnah Berurah and other unfortunately say that novlos is not a normal date which has been burnt, but is a special type of date which never gets ripe on the tree and never is suitable to eat. Rather, you pluck it and you heat it up in dirt, and then they get ripened, or put them into certain kinds of wrappings or hay, straw, in order to heat them up until they get ripe. Okay, Lamed base. Isa Magamara, Maya the silka kasilka. The water of vegetables is like the vegetables. Silka is, if I recall correctly, is a leek. Maya the lifta. Water of a turnip is like a turnip. Maya the kulu shalki. The water of any cooked vegetable is like a cooked vegetable. Maya the shivsa, also to the water of shivsa. Zel yerek, which is a vegetable. Sosim ktera, which you put into a pocket in ktera in order to sweeten the pot. But then you throw away the vegetable afterwards. Mevura, from this comes out clear when you cook vegetables of fruit and water. You make a bracha on the soup, like on the vegetables and fruit themselves. It's not like fruit water. The fruit water, the beverage comes out of the fruit. The which we say is just a perspiration for cousin shakum, which where the bracha shakum wrote previously. The b'sham ain't there. The taste is not like the taste of the fruit. But the cooked soup is like the vegetables themselves. They make the bracha on the soup like on the vegetable itself. Saying it's true if you cooked fruit and the taste went into the cooked water. To make bread. If he's in bishu Floyman or rosencus, plums or raisins, bracha mayim gamkein, ha'etz also make a bracha ha'etz on the water. Usually kroit or barekas, you cook cabbage or beets, mevarchit or mevarchit mayim hadam, make a hadama on the soup water. Let me give them zelshon atuv shalom sim reishay sim base. Mayim shebishlu b'em yirakos mevarcha bracha atzma shevarcha yirakos atzma. The water in which you cook, you make the bracha of the vegetable themselves. V'afal b'shem el time bear, give them only able to taste the vegetable and not the mamoshes of the vegetable. V'hani miluk shebishlu b'lo basar. It's cooked without meat. I'm bishlu basar. We cook them with meat. Bracha lev shaka, make a shaka. I can't l'shem. That's in the quote from the Torah and Shulchan Aruch. They came when she yesh b'em tam achel levad tam yirakos, because they have no taste of vegetables. You don't go after the taste of the vegetable. So that would be also true if you cook vegetables in vinegar or bekavas or beborscht, any other type of kavas, some sort of, I forget what kavas is, but some sort of different tasting flavor, not water. And borscht obviously tastes like beets. No, but it has some sort of also has, I think it's the vinegar actually gives the taste of borscht. Sorry. You don't make hadama has a significant other taste besides the vegetables. If you cook cabbage or beets shel in a milkic way, you put in milk or cream, kanog as is customary. We also make hadama on the soup. The principle is the only time I make on the soup of vegetables hadama is when it's solely vegetables with water, without anything additive. So only have the taste of vegetables. Anytime there's another taste besides vegetables, which is 9 times out of 10. You make a shako on that soup. This is by vegetables. Pears by fruit, pears shishram, a fruit which was soaked, or cooked in water, even though the taste of the water, fruit goes in water, water only is the shako. Rush Kosav the Efshar Hecha Nichas Tama Pri B'Mayim. Lord B'Reitz, and Rosh says, no, maybe where it's good, where the taste of the fruit goes to the water, you do make a B'Rei Pritz. But Dari Shana, first opinion, that's a Rashman. Shachab and Yoros, what compares to distinguishes between vegetables and fruit. Dukas says, Dafki, Rokos, typically vegetables, Shadakar Noshavim, which you normally cook, right now, Bleach Lika, can't be eaten without being cooked, Mo Kroit to Berekas, like cabbage and beets. Therefore, their primary way being them is being cooked, and that's where why their water is like. Avoperos, by fruit, where they're primarily eaten when they are raw. Therefore, when they're cooked, when they cook, the soup does not get that lot of peros. Of course, there's a fruit which only gets eaten not only by being cooked, like dry plums. The baraka eights make a bracha of eights on the soup, gamma rashba. Same thing is true by apples and pears. They're dry, only by cooking. You want to make a St. Paulin. I'm not sure this, but I have a funny feeling it might be a quince. Also dry raisins, which are normally eaten by being cooked. The beginning of the sif, the Arukh HaShulchan mentioned soak. The Mishnah says soak means 24 hours, because then they give it the taste of the water. Sharatzion adds that it has to do with the nature of the thing which is being soaked. Some things are soaked that don't give a taste even after Meis Leis, and for them you certainly need more than 24 hours, and only then would the Rosh only make a B'Rei Pritz out of them. Bialacha writes, according to Rosh, they don't have to, it has to be that most of their achilas through cooking in order to make eitz, but it has to be that they are just as good to eat, whether raw or cooked. And if they're only good to eat as when they're raw, so on the fruit themselves, when it's cooked, you would only make a shako koshkein on the soup of the fruit. Hey, Aviyesh Kokim says some people argue. So that's a Rashba. They all like the coin Rashba. And we're going to shumark shapir sates. They'll make a hates on any fruit soup. Tamash Rashba who the ba'ina the barim she because you hasn't be bishul because Rashba also you need that the primary point of planting them is bishul. Kol yiraka shel kroit the borekas like cabbage and beets. Avokol mini peiros ikar in the tiyas on the but by fruit by definition they're all made in raw. And the fact that you made them so dry that now you can't eat them except cooking them, that doesn't change the reason why they were planted. That's the we should look at wrong. Because the gamma marks should plum, so it's even on a plum soup. And only any other soup of dry fruit, Mevarkim Shaka, make Shako, neither Dina, Safek Brachas Waka, it says Din, you make on Safek Brachas, Farin Shaka, make a Shako, the Yevet Gamma Rosh, Yotzim is there, because the Yevet even called the Rosh, Yotzim with Shako. Mr. Bird says the evidence made by eights. The evidence made by eights, you ate with that. Rambam Shita Cheres Close, of course. The Rambam always has different Shita. Perches din doubt. Miani Rabasation Levius Varklan were astonished that they did not bring the Rambam Shita. Session Rambam Ruckish Dark and Lishal, Lishal will bet which are normally cooked. Shlaki you cook them Varklan, May Shal Shem Bari Priya make Hadama on their cooked liquids, assuming that you cook them in order to drink the liquids. That vegetables which are made for the water made to drink, the water gets the stalach of the vegetables. Well, that won't apply to any of our soups. Well, I should say to any of our cooked vegetables that you made them spill in the soup. Right? Come on, to breakfast because like cabbage and beets. When you cook them in your tea with the soup, the Rambam it's only when you cook it so that you want specifically to drink the beverage, not when you make a soup out of it and you also have beverage as a result. Because certainly is not relevant to fruit. That's so there's only halacha by vegetables. And also by vegetables, it's only if you cooked for the water. I guess they cook whole beets to get whatever this russell is. Where they toss out the beets and not just use the beverage. According to that, in that case, I'm going to say it's Adama. Please say Latina. And the bracha shum shalak bracha shal peri. It's by any cooked vegetable, you shouldn't make the bracha of the fruit. Rak shahakol imlok shavash yerek shal mayim, unless you're cooking the vegetable for its waters. Rainbow basar chalav, and it doesn't have meat or milk. To us, the chalav is bracha dama. Then everybody's make a dama. Really, it seems to be dafim matim harasul bebeitz achas shleim k'derech olam. Even you put into this russell egg or two, as people do. Kokam berachas adama, berachas remains adama. They not beitzim nikarim klab amar kanyoda. You know they can't tell the egg is there. You love shadadocha harbe beitzim unless you put a lot of eggs. Avabasar chalav v'chalav kafush you're going to cement. But if you put in meat or milk or the solid solidified cream, which I think is we call condensed milk. Nosim tam nachem barasul. They do give a taste in the russell. Baruch Shachal make a shachal chen yireli halacha le ma'aseh.